Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the City Skylines Beginner's Guide. Today we are going to be finally stepping into our downtown, and I know a lot of people have been kind of itching for this, and I think it came at the perfect time because today we are going to be answering one question, and that question is the new Skyscrapers Content Creator Pack worth it? My main factor is it going to be worth the extra $5 to $6 if you're in the USA or something equivalent if you're elsewhere? And so in order to answer this question, we are going to be expanding our highway. I have a really cool idea to put an end-of-line train station in here, and I really want to dive into some fun layouts. And so I was kind of playing around with a couple suggestions I'd gotten for campuses, and I think we're going to put our campus on this little hill over here. I think this is just going to be a really fun area. So our goal for this episode is to just probably build out one section of this, and we'll probably end up doing this in multiple stages. And so let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first thing we need to do is go on down to our areas tab, and we are going to be purchasing this square. So man, we already got quite a few squares. We have 6 squares, which means this is going to be our 7th, and we only have 2 more squares that we are going to be able to purchase within the vanilla game. And this is definitely one of the limitations that I'm pretty frustrated with. I wish that they would at least expand it to maybe like 10 or 12. I really don't think it would be too crazy, but maybe there's like hardware restrictions that we're just not aware of, like with consoles or something. And so now what we need to do, we're going to get a little crazy. So we are going to get rid of this, and I want this to come out here, but also split into a smaller couplet. We're not going to get into a crazy big couplet like we did before. So what we need to do is go into the info views, and we're going to go into the terrain heights. And so I was kind of looking at this hill, and I think what we're going to do is put our end-of-line train station right here at the bottom of this hill, and it's going to really help us to create a really fun look in here because I want to kind of wrap the metro line around and really, you know, whenever I'm designing downtowns, I always try to like push the envelope. I try to do something that's unique and fun and nobody's seen before or done, and so I always try to look at real cities for inspiration. And one of the cities that I just kept thinking of whenever I was thinking of the end of the line is Paris. And I know this is not going to have any sort of similarities with Paris in a lot of ways, but I remember taking the train from Paris to London, and the train station immediately went into a tunnel, and I just thought it was so cool. I was like, you know, this is such a smart idea. And so we are going to level out just a bit of this. We don't need to get crazy. I don't want to just level the whole thing out. This would be extremely expensive for them to do. And so what we're going to do is just do a small bit of it so that we can make it a little bit easier to build on, because this is going to be the primary section of our downtown. And so now let's go ahead and jump into our roads, and we have a ton of new roads with the free update. And I gotta say, I am so excited that they are finally adding to other DLCs. I think it's so smart. And so we had roads added to After Dark DLC, we had roads added to Snowfall, we had roads added to Plazas and Promenades. The reason they're added into those DLCs is because they were those DLC specific. So like After Dark had bicycles and it added bike functionality. Snowfall added trams, and so it added tram functionality, and then Plazas and Promenades added pedestrian roads, and so it added that functionality. And so they had to add it into those DLCs, because if they didn't, and you didn't own those DLCs, then you wouldn't have been able to use that functionality. Like, yeah, you could have had bike roads, but you didn't have bicyclists. And so I'm glad that they're finally doing that. I think it's a smart move. And so now what we need to do is kind of draw this out. So we are going to come out like right here. Let's go ahead and follow this one as well. We're going to go out like right here. And what I want to do is have this curve in a really meaningful way. And I think we're actually going to go out probably 1.5 on either side. So we'll go out like right there, come out like right there, and we'll go out 1.5 on this side as well. And then we'll follow that down. And so we want to kind of look at that. How far out are we going to go? So right now our curve is going to be like right here, which really isn't that bad, because I think what we're going to end up having to do is probably adding in a roundabout. Roundabout's probably going to be in the cards. And so let's go ahead and put this just a couple more forward. Let's go like that, go like that. And then I think we may even want to push this back. So if we bring this up maybe one more and connect that up, push this back again, go like that. Then what we're going to do is use that bulldoze tool, and we are going to get rid of this. And so now what we're going to do to make this curve is we're going to grab this road, and we want to be right in the middle. So you see how I have 2 squares on either side? So that tells me that we're in the middle. So I want to come out probably 1.5, because I really want this to be a gradual slope. And you can see we're a little, well, no, that's 2 on either side, but we want it to mimic that. So now we're going to go into our freeform tool. We're going to grab that. We're going to come all the way out, and then we're going to connect that up. We're going to do the same thing on this side, connect that up. And then what we need to do is bulldoze this end now. So we're going to come up right here, come up right there. And we do need to extend this out just a bit, just so that we can get those much needed road guidelines. And so now let's come on down here, let's line it up, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to line it up. Normally when you measure that stuff out, it should come out a little more perfect than that. It does kind of look like this one's a little overarched, but it's not the end of the world, and so I'm not going to sit there and play around with it. And so what I'm thinking is we will end up doing a roundabout probably right here, possibly even further back. So if we come right here, yeah, you know what? I think right on this curve would probably be good. So if we grab our road up here, let's go ahead and put it like right here. So we're going to delete these anyways. And then we are going to bring this down, and I want it to be right in the middle, right there. Perfect. And so let's go ahead and get rid of these now. Let's go out one. Let's go out one. Let's go out one. Ooh, that was just short of one. And the reason we're doing this roundabout is because downtowns can be extremely traffic intensive, though we are going to be prioritizing walkability. And so my goal is to not really have a ton of traffic issues, but because of the new skyscraper DLC, they're situated as unique buildings. And so what happens is they end up generating a ton of traffic, and so you definitely got to be careful with it. So now we're going to jump that in there and jump that in there, and that actually helped clean it up a little bit. That looks pretty good. And so the reason I did that is because I want to connect up our couplet to that as well. So we're going to connect up the highway here. So we'll go ahead and get rid of this. Let's go ahead and bring it all the way back to there, just so that we can get a little bit better of a slope out of it. So if we go ahead and bring this forward, let's go ahead and turn on snapping, bring this forward, and then now we should be able to literally just connect this up. And we are going to have a little bit of an issue with the spacing on this. So I think if we go like right there, that would probably be better. And let's go ahead and do the same thing on this side. We're just going to curve it so slightly. But we really want to, it's not bad. It's still a little bit of a sharp kind of drop off there, but I really don't think there's going to be too much we can do about that. So now we're going to come in here, and one of the new roads that we had gotten is a 3-lane one-way with bicycle lanes. And so, yes, you guessed it, we are going to upgrade our whole couplet to this because I think it is fantastic for us to have that bike access. Especially on the last episode, we had upgraded a lot of our roads to bikes, and so I really like the idea of having that bike access off of this couplet. And so I'm actually going to go ahead and upgrade all of this real quick, probably down to this road, and then go ahead and do the opposite as well. All right, and so I updated it all the way around. And the reason I did that is because I really like having the protected bike lanes. I think having bike lanes is fantastic, especially for cities. And so let's go ahead and upgrade this all the way around before we get into any sort of crazy clipping where it doesn't want to snap in. And so now what we can do is go back to our 3-lane one-way with bike access. Let's go ahead and put that in there, and then let's go ahead and connect this up as well. We'll have this go right there, and we are going to have quite a few connections off of this, but that's why I did the 4-lane, so we should be okay. But that's really the magic word there. We might end up having some issues, and of course it doesn't want to connect that up, so we need to delete that and redraw that in going the correct direction. And so let's go ahead and look at this. So this looks terrible. I wish we had fix this first. So let's I'm gonna go ahead and fix this real quick. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and grab our landscaping tool, and I'm gonna bring our line back to right here so that it drops down into the roundabout. I think that is just gonna be much better. So I'm literally just gonna go like right there and then fix all this. I don't really want to mess up our runes over here though, so let's go ahead and go like this. We're gonna do a little park right there. Yeah, you know what, because if I had mods, this would definitely be a situation where I could, this is a 2-second fix with mods. In vanilla, it is not. And so we definitely need to, I have to bulldoze it all and redraw it in, but it's not the end of the world. I'll get it done real fast and I'll be right back. All right, and so now we have connected it up, and it does look a little bit weird. I kind of wish I could have gotten it a little bit better, but it's just because of that hill. So now what we need to do is go ahead and remove these middle sections and upgrade this road all the way around. And it does look like we're going to have a little bit of an issue right there, of course. So let's go ahead and delete that road. We will delete that as well. And let's go ahead and redraw that in. So we will go like that and then upgrade this all the way around. You definitely got to be careful in vanilla with having your nodes too close. So if you have an issue like this, all you got to do is just literally delete it and then redraw it in. You still do need to be careful because of the roundabout. It might end up making it a little bit wonky. You can kind of see that maybe a little bit off. Still looks good though. And so now we can go ahead and upgrade these roads as well. And we're going to use those bike lanes again. We're going to go all the way down. We're going to go ahead and do this as well. And the reason we did this is because I want to have our end of line train station right here, but we're going to end up putting it into a tunnel. And so I want the train tracks to go underground and end up going underneath this roundabout and then connecting up with this line up here, but then also bypassing that line and connecting up over here somewhere, because I don't want it to have to go through the station if it doesn't need to. So we'll probably end up using the line that goes to the station for a local line. And so let's go ahead and flip this the right way, and let's start playing around with our train station. So I do want it to be just a smidge lower. I don't want it to be crazy low. So I'm thinking like probably right here. Yeah, you know, that's not bad. It's going to really create some cool like differences in height too, which I really like. This is definitely something that I normally try to play around with is how can we, you know, adapt to the terrain, and is it as realistic? Not really. These would be extremely expensive projects for people to do or cities to do in real life. And so, but it is more of like an idealistic project. Like, man, if the city had unlimited funds, then they could. So now if we go into the transport tab, we can go into public transport hubs, and this is something that we had unlocked with the mass transit DLC. And so we do want it to be level with that. So I'm thinking, it looks like we're maybe a little off. So we'll go like right there. Yeah, you know, that looks pretty good. And then this is low enough for us now to take our train station. So if we go back into that transport tab, go over to trains and grab this, we should be able to now go underground. And so we do want this to be level. This is something that, you know, is kind of tricky in this game. So you don't want it to have to drop off at any sort of crazy distance. So like that looks pretty good right there. And it actually looks like we don't really need to do anything crazy for that. So if we bring them all out now, and then what I'm going to do is basically run this line. I'm going to have one go and meet up with this other station. And we're going to have to kind of mess up this station a little bit because we need to have this line kind of go through our rocks right here, but go underground. It's going to be super important for us. So we'll probably have to come back through here and redecorate that. And it actually looks like that single step is a little too steep over here. So what we'll do is go ahead and drop that down. And I think we can get away with just one. Yeah, we can. We'll go ahead and expand it out as well. Grades are extremely important for trains, and this is a very realistic thing. So we will come all the way out. We want it to snap to that 90. We want it to stay straight if we can. Yeah, right there. We're going to come out here, and then we can begin to turn it. So we will grab this, go into the freeform tool. I'm just going to go ahead and connect this up real quick. All right, so I got that one line connected up. So we're literally just going to do probably a back and forth with this. And so now for the other lines, what I want to do is bypass that. All right, so I got that connected up. I ended up just connecting one terminal to this station, because now what I want to do is go ahead and create a line off of this. And I want it to be off of our passenger line because it's going to make it a little bit easier down the road if we end up having some traffic issues. We can kind of just troubleshoot this one little section. All right, so what we will do is go ahead and bring this down, and we need to be on this side. So we will go like this and then begin to wrap it around. I want to be in freeform, go like this, follow that a little bit just so that we can get that look in there. I think it looks cool when you have two tracks. So then now let's go ahead and turn off snapping, and we will bring this down. And there's a couple considerations with this. One of the weird things with being underground in this game is that tunnels tend to follow the terrain. So like doing this little hill was kind of tricky. Whenever you're going up a hill, you have to make sure to drop it down, or whenever you're going down a hill, you have to make sure to bring it up, because what happens is the ground will automatically force it to go lower than what you have. It's kind of a weird functionality. So if we go like that, you can kind of see, I mean, it's got a pretty big downward hill, but we're much lower than we need to be. And so what we need to do is go ahead and bring that back just a smidge. And then I'm going to use our other line to try and mimic that one. So if we go ahead and bring this up, so you see how it created this huge hill. It's because of the terrain. And so the only way to get rid of this is I think it's easier to go from the other side. So if you grab this line, so we'll go like right here, and then let's go ahead and go up now, but we want to go down a smidge because we know that it's going to bring it up a bit. And so we do not want that. So now we need to connect this up. Let's go ahead and check that up. Yeah, you know what? It's still pretty sharp, and you can see we went down a little too deep in here. And this is something that you just got to kind of play around with until you get it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this done real quick. Yeah, there you go. That looks much better. It's still pretty sharp. I mean, there are some pretty big hills in here. This would obviously be fixed pretty easily with Network Multi-Tool, but we don't have that functionality, and so there's really not a whole lot we can do about it. So now, whenever you're dealing with a multi-platform end station like this, you do want to be careful with these connections, because you end up having some pretty major traffic issues if you're not. And so normally I would not have it snake up like this, because what's going to happen is we'll end up generating a ton of traffic with this. But we'll wait and see how it works. Because this is underground, it's definitely going to be trickier, because normally you wouldn't want everything feeding off of one like this. You'd kind of want it in the middle so that they could choose to go left or right. But my hope is that this is not going to generate as much traffic as they sometimes do, especially since it's already connected from or disconnected from our cargo line, because our cargo lines are this one and this one. It should be okay. But if not, it'll give us a good opportunity to troubleshoot train problems, because this can be a real nightmare in the city. And so it's coming here, and I do want to start working on our grid pattern. So the reason we're going to do a grid is because grids are extremely walkable. They're really great for downtowns. This is pretty much the only area that I say that grids definitely are the best bet, because I think for outside of downtowns, grids are kind of monotonous and a waste of taxpayer dollars with the use of pavement and maintenance. But for downtowns, they work really well. So I really want to go ahead and do a pedestrianized road, and I want it to be like a main street. And one of the coolest streets, there's actually a couple downtowns that have really cool walking areas like this, but I lived in LA for a bit many years ago now, but one of the cities I used to always go to was Santa Monica, and they have this huge promenade and right near the water. Actually, it's really cool. But it has just a walking street. It's basically like a mall. But it's a closed off pedestrianized street where people can walk around and kind of enjoy the shopping and stuff. And I always thought it was really cool. Santa Monica on its own, I always thought was really cool because it's a really walkable city. Like, you can live in Santa Monica and you're still in LA, but if you work within that area, like, you don't need a car. And then they have Metro out there, which their Metro is like not the greatest, but it's getting better. I've taken it a couple times. But now what we want to do is go ahead and use some bike roads and also some tram roads. So they had actually added in a bike tram road, which I think is fantastic. It is kind of interesting. It has a median in the middle, but we are going to be utilizing this road, and we are going to be utilizing some pedestrian roads. So I do want to use this small 2-unit 4-lane road, and I want to come off of this. So I want to go like this, and I think we're going to end up actually changing some of these to one-ways. One-ways in downtowns are extremely smart to use. Most downtowns utilize them, and it's for good reason. So like even with this, if we were to switch over to that bike one, it would probably flow much better. So let's actually go like this. So we'll switch this back and we'll grab this. And it's actually kind of cool. Most downtowns will funnel you in on certain roads and then funnel you out on certain roads. So like having these two go out is going to provide great access for this area, especially since I know we're going to end up putting a road around. Let's go ahead and jump into a medium-sized road now, and I want to use one that has trams, tracks, so 4-lane road with tram tracks and trees. I want trams, roads, and bikes. Yeah, so 4-lane road with bicycle lanes and tram tracks. There you go, perfect. And so what I want to do with this road is go ahead and wrap it around our coast. This is really going to help us get like a template for our downtown. So I know I want to do a little bit of a park on the waterfront. I want to wrap this around now. We're going to come up this way, and then what I want to do is pretty much connect it up with this. So we'll go like that. Perfect. Let's go ahead and check out that slope. I mean, that looks pretty terrible. So we are going to fix this real quick. So we're going to go into landscaping, go to slope. We're going to right click right there. We are going to drag this all the way down there. Perfect. This is just going to allow us to get that, make it look a little bit better. That just looked terrible. So we'll go ahead and connect that up. And the reason we're doing trams is because I really like trams in downtowns, but I think they just add a really nice look. So we'll go ahead and bring this down. We'll go ahead and bring this all the way down. We can actually probably just connect that one up. And let's go ahead and curve this one in. And then let's go ahead and flip these around. Flip this one around, flip that around. And then let's bring our pedestrianized road now. Let's bring this all the way down. Yeah, we'll go like that. So this is going to be like our promenade in here. So now I do want to do some other tram roads kind of crisscrossing. So we're going to use that 2-lane road, median, tram tracks, and bicycle lanes. Let's go ahead and do one like right here. Bring that across. Let's go ahead and go 2 down, bring that across. Let's go 2 down again. Oh, and it looks like we're going to be a little tight on this side. Let's go ahead and we're going to mess up the symmetry just a smidge, but we're going to go like that. And let's go ahead and connect this up. So we'll go like this. And then let's bring these across. Bring that across. Bring this across. Bring this across. Let's go ahead and connect these up. And voila. So we already got our grid forming, and it's looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and bring this across now. Let's go ahead and bring this across. And I think we're going to end up having to do another road that's going to connect up here. I would prefer it if we could get one off of here. I think that would be fantastic. Let's go ahead and do a medium-sized road. And I want to get medians with bicycle lanes. Yeah, there we go. And so let's go ahead and bring this now. I want this to go like right here, but I want it to be even with that. So if we go like right there, we should be able to connect this up. So if we go like that, yeah, there we go. And this roundabout is already having, looking like it's going to have some issues with connections. We definitely got to be careful with this. You don't want to connect up too much stuff here. The reason I'm connecting that up though is because I really want to provide access. That's really what this is all about. The more access you can get, the better. So now we have a couple tram roads going in here. Let's go ahead and get some more pedestrian roads. And so now we have secured our integrity of this road. We've kept our trams in there. We can do some tram stations in here. This is going to be really fantastic. So I really want to get our metro station over here because what I'm thinking is we are going to delete our underground tunnel over here, have our metro station come down, connect up, turn, come down this way, and then connect up over there so that we can also get a metro station over here. I think that would just be really smart. And so now let's go ahead and extend out our one-way road right here. We are going to go down to roads, grab our 3-lane one-way with bikes. Let's go ahead and go out like right there. And then I think for this side, what we're going to do is curve it. So we're going to go into info views. We're going to go to not districts. We want to go into terrain. And I want to curve this. We're going to grab this. Let's go ahead and bring it down this way. And I want it to kind of skirt the outside of this. And then that way what we can do is kind of build this side off of that curve as well, which is really going to help us to capture a cool look. And so let's go in here. Let's grab our bicycle road. I mean, I would prefer if there was a 4-lane, but we're just going to use the standard one. We're going to go ahead and bring this across just to connect that up. Let's go ahead and make that the right direction. And then what we can do is go ahead and do some other roads in here now. All right, and so now we have our grid forming, and we do want to create a couple spaces in here. So what you can do is just kind of delete some roads, have some roads kind of change direction. So like for this one, you could grab this, have it come down, and then just turn. And what it's going to do is help create some cool spaces in here. It does kind of break the grid a little bit, but we're not too worried about that at this point. We may need to come back and rearrange some of it, but the goal is to get it right the first time. So if we come up here, go ahead and turn that one in, go like this, and then go ahead and curve this one in. It's already looking pretty cool. So we can grab this, go ahead and connect this up with this road. And let's go ahead and just follow that same kind of pattern right there. Nice. I think this is already looking good. And so now let's go ahead. I have a cool idea for this. So if we go into unique buildings and go into content creator packs, this is where all your skyscrapers and Heart of Korea buildings are going to be. And I just got to say, the skyscrapers content creator pack has a ton of buildings. It is fantastic. Like, especially for all you console players out there, this is definitely a DLC that is worth it in my mind. And that is to answer our question. And I'm going to show you guys why, because it is just so cool. Some of these buildings, like these 2 buildings we're going to use first, go hand in hand with each other. And so we're actually going to put them, I think it's these ones. Is it this? No, it's these ones. So I want these to be sideways, because what I'm thinking is, so if we grab this and we're going to, I don't know if I want to get rid of that road. Let's go ahead and we're going to get rid of that one. We're going to have this go like right here. And then we're going to go ahead and leave a space in the middle for its little cousin. And then we are going to mess this up. So we're going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of this. And what I want to do is go ahead and make our metro station right in the middle, because what we want is this station. Yeah, we want it like that. Perfect. So now what we can do is go ahead and just connect this up. We will delete these, redraw this out, go ahead and turn on snapping so that we can line up with that, and then connect these up. And then what we can do is go ahead and connect this one up as well. Let's delete this, have it go back, and delete that. And I think what we'll do is turn this into a pedestrian road. I think that could be good. So we'll go ahead and just turn that all into a pedestrian road. Nice. I like that. And we can actually connect this up as well. So if we go like this, since it's a pedestrian road. Nice. And so I think this is already looking pretty good. Some of these little corners too, we could turn into pedestrian roads. Like we could literally just add in some pedestrian crossings in here if we wanted to. And I think it would just make it look better. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and jump into the bulldoze tool. I'm going to hit that V button, and we are going to delete all of this. Go back above ground, delete that. Delete this, delete that, and come over here, delete all the way back. And then I'm going to draw in the metro line, have it come in here, snake between the buildings, and then we're going to turn it, have it come up over here, and then basically do the same thing over here and then connect up with that line. All right, and so I have connected it up, and so now we can go ahead and unpause. And so now what we can do is go ahead and jump into our districts tab, and let's paint this all as a pedestrian area, because we're going to start having some issues with everything on pedestrian roads. We'll go like that. We do need to go into our parks and plazas tab, go into the pedestrian areas. we need to plop down one of these cargo transportation centers. And somebody had asked why I didn't place down the cargo ones. So this basic small pedestrian area service point does service cargo and garbage. It's just as you get bigger, you need to start doing separate ones, because otherwise you do tend to run into problems. And so I'm going to go ahead and place down some water as well. Okay, so now what we need to do is start placing down some buildings. So we need to get some services in here. We need to do some schooling, though we're not going to do a whole lot of residential just because of noise issues. Whenever you have high density commercial, you tend to get a ton of noise issues. So over here in the info pane, if you actually hit noise pollution, it'll kind of show you like these are already pretty red. And so if you end up putting residential in these extremely red areas, they'll actually get sick. And so as we just recently had in Canalville, we had a huge issue where I was trying to do mixed use and it didn't really work out. But now what we can do is go ahead and jump into that unique buildings tab. And we're going to go into all these new skyscraper buildings. So whenever I think of a downtown, like a big one, I think of like Chicago or New York, or even like some of the smaller ones in the United States, like Atlanta, or I really liked Cleveland. I think Cleveland is a really cool downtown, or Miami, even Los Angeles to an extent, though Los Angeles's downtown is definitely lacking. And so what I want to do is I want to keep this middle row basically empty for our pedestrianized area. I really want to have this all pretty much green, but I want to create a couple areas in here. And one of the cool things with the skyscraper buildings is there's buildings that kind of match up with each other. So like this one says Catalina's Norte building, and this says Catalina's Norte Tower. And so one of the cool things I like about this tool is it shows you where it's originated from, though I wish it told you the city. It says 157 meter tall office building from Argentina. And so let's go ahead and place a couple of these down and just kind of look at it. One of the things you do need to be wary of, and especially vanilla, is every time you place one of these down, it is a ton of money. And another huge consideration is that upkeep cost. And so if you're trying to build a downtown, you want to make sure that you're making a lot of money first. And thankfully, because we did this huge import oil business, we are making about $40,000 a week. So that means we could place down probably about like 20 of these buildings and be okay, maybe even 30 if we wanted to get crazy. But so I do want to move this one over just a bit, and it is going to cost us another $12,000. So let's go ahead and I want to leave a little bit of a space on that side. Maybe we'll go like that. And then let's go ahead and move this one in just a smidge. And I really wish it would line up a little bit better. This is going to be super frustrating. So if we go like that, that's okay, because what I want to do is a grounds for it. And so I do want to get some other zoning in here as well. But I think what we'll do is let's go ahead and move over to this one now. And this is actually a bigger one. Let's put this right there. And then I believe these two, Marshot Tower, Marshot Center. So let's go ahead and put that right there. Yeah, you know what? I think that looks cool. And it still leaves enough room for us to put a little path in there. And one of the, cool things with downtowns, you really don't need to get too much landscaping, because a lot of times it's just building after building after building. But I want to try to get some green space in here too. I don't want to just do a ton of buildings like back to back. So now let's do these ones. It looks like these are very similar. I don't think they're the same though. So let's go ahead and come down here, and we're going to place one right there, and let's see if we can get this other one right next to it. Yeah, we can. Let's go ahead and look at those. Oh yeah, so those look almost identical. I actually really like that. And they got this some grass on the side. We could do a path down the middle, maybe do some benches and stuff. We'll probably do a fence around the outside. And so let's look at some other ones. So we got the Europatorm. I'm probably butchering that. I'm sorry, guys. Especially if you're from Germany. I don't know where in Germany this is, but Europatorm. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments if I'm not saying that right. So let's go ahead and put that down there, and then let's check that out. So that one actually looks really cool, and I like that the buildings are tall right next to each other. I think that's going to be good, and we can even do something good in there. Actually, I think we're a little too close to that pedestrian area. Kind of got a little sidetracked. Yeah, you know what? That actually fits even better. Like fits right into that. It's very snug. So let's come over here now, and let's so we got the Jubilee Motors building. So this is a huge one. This one is gigantic. So let's actually put this, let's try to be mindful. I want to go like right in the middle there. Let's look at that one. Yeah, you know what? That looks cool. And I think we'll maybe do, let's see if we can fit another. No, it's going to be too tight to fit another one off that backside. So now it looks like these three are similar. So Island Park Tower 68, Island Park Tower 44, Island Park Tower 56. Let's see where these are from. These are from Japan. So let's go ahead let's maybe put these off of this, and we can turn this into like a little center for these. Is this another one too? Arlen Park Tower. Wow, there's a bunch of these. So let's put that there. Let's put that there. You know what? Let's do that, because then we can do hopefully a path right there. Can I get a path in between here? And that actually looks cool. Those kind of match up with each other. I actually like that. And we can do a little plaza in the front, like a park. And so let's look at some other ones now. So it looks like these two are the same. So marble building, marble center, MLM building. So these two are the same. Let's put these over here. Let's go ahead and, you know, maybe they'll fit right in here. Yeah, I think they will. So if we go like right there, and then let's go ahead and put that one right there as well. So we want to be mindful of where we're placing these. So like this one is off the backside, so it'd be kind of weird. This would be almost like an alleyway, you know, but it kind of matches in with this. So maybe we'll do some grass and turn it into a nice area. One thing that I do wish that they would add to vanilla, maybe some of the developers will see this. I wish we had ploppable concrete. I really wish that, because like, or surface paint or something. Like if we could just paint some concrete, I think it would be a game changer for console players. And so now let's come over here. Let's do this MLM center and MLM building. These are actually a little on the bigger side. Let's put these like right there, and then we'll go ahead and do this one on the opposite side. We want it off that same road though. And this actually leaves room for us to maybe do some smaller buildings in there. And then let's keep going. So we have Embarcadero, one Montgomery, and then one Cheerful Plaza, and then one Galveston. So these all look very similar. They're very similar. Let's see about placing these. Ooh, there's an open space right here. Let's put one right there. Let's go ahead and put one right there. And then let's come over here and just get crazy. We're gonna go like that. And then let's see, come on, can we fit one more? We can't. So building already exists. I was in the wrong building. So let's go ahead and place one right there. And so the goal for this is for us to get some paths in there, and then probably use some of those pergolas and actually turn that into, I really like that one. I think that looks cool. I like that little center. So then let's come over here, and I want to do some more. So we have 6 Rivers Center. We have the National Trade Center, which is, ooh, this one's a big one. Let's actually put this one right here. Yeah, I like that. That's got huge grounds. Look at that. I think that looks awesome. That looks really great. I like that one. So then let's check out this one. So this one's pretty big too. That's 150,000. We're definitely spending a lot of money. No, you know what? I think that looks good. Yeah, you know, I like it off the ped road too. I think that looks great. And then let's, so these two look the same. I'm not even going to try to pronounce those. It's way beyond my league. So let's come over here. I think one of these, they're really not that big. Yeah, you know what? I think that looks good. It definitely adds a little bit of a different look to our skyline. And so now we have the Torre Centrale and the Torre Giona. Again, I don't know if I'm butchering those. Those are from Italy. Maybe that sounds a little Italian. I don't speak Italian, but maybe I'm kind of close. Oh, those actually look cool. I like those ones. Those ones are good. There's actually some really cool buildings in this. So we have the Gala Sturm, and this is from Germany again. We have the Term Am Park. Man, there's actually quite a few buildings from. This one looks cool though. Oh man, we have to get this one. Where can we get this one? Let's actually put this one over here. Yeah, you know what? I like this idea, because then we can let's go ahead and put it right here, because then we get a little bit of a sight line right there in front of the park. Oh yeah, I like that. I think that's a great idea with a plaza park right there. And then this tall building, and then maybe we could even fit both of these. How does that look right next to that? Because I kind of wanted to get a little bit of shopping in there. No, we're gonna move this one. I don't want to. I think it kind of just encroaches on that space a little too much. Let's go ahead and put that right there. And then I like this one because we're gonna do park right here, and then do some shopping around there. So we got a park down the middle. We could do something over here. So let's see what else we got. Yeah, so these actually look like they go together. Let's see about placing that right there. Yeah, they do. I like that though. I think that looks great. All right, so let's move on. So we have the Tower Bellini and the Tower Courbevoie. These are from France. And so let's put that right there. Let's come over here and do this one. So building already exists. Let's do that one right there. And I think we'll do another green space off this backside. And then we have the Tower Tour Saint Denis, and then Tour Finot. Another Germany one. Quite a few buildings from Germany. And no, we don't want to encroach on that. So let's put this right here. And then let's go ahead and put this one like right next to it. Though I want to leave room for a plaza. I think that would be good. And then let's come over here. Let's put this one right there. And then let's go ahead and put this one right there. Yeah, you know what? I think this is going to look cool. I actually really like that tall building. I think that's my favorite building so far. And so we way outdid ourselves. So how many did we do? So we did 34. And so let's try to figure out an average for this. So it looks like, I mean, some of them are over 1,000, some of them are at 500. So we're definitely, this is going to be expensive. This is going to be super expensive. And these are going to generate traffic too, because they're all unique buildings. And so we really got to be careful with this. So now let's come in here, or not in there. Let's go into districts and areas and let's paint all this in. Man, we're just getting crazy today. We are doing a lot. So let's go ahead and place this down. Let's go like that. And we also forgot this section. We need to definitely do something with that, because what I'm thinking is we'll have this come up and connect up right there. We'll probably do the same thing on this side and then maybe do some green space, maybe a little park space over there. I think that could be good. So let's go into parks and plazas. Let's go into pedestrian area plazas. And I know I want to do that glass one. I think we need to get our land value up to get that one. So if we do this, let's see where we should start it. No, you know, we'll start it right there and then we'll have this go right there. So we'll go like right here. How do I flip it around? So we're going to go like that. And then what we're going to do, I want to get a couple of these statue plazas. We're going to do these flower plazas. So we'll do 4 of these flower plazas because I really like the look of those. I think they look great. And it adds a little bit of symmetry in there. And then let's do a couple others. So maybe we could do just 1 food truck plaza. I think a statue plaza would be good. And so we're definitely going to have to break up our symmetry a little bit. Maybe we'll do this. We'll do 1 right there, 1 right there. Because then we can kind of keep that even though it's still the same problem, same statue. Like this is okay because they're trees. It just, why would the city commission 2 of the same statues? It in my mind, it doesn't make sense. So let's try it like this. So if we go this way, I mean, it looks good. You know, you get that symmetry in there. Yeah, we're just going to keep it, even though I do think that it is incredibly unrealistic. So let's come in here and let's do some walking paths. So I want to connect up these. I want to connect this up first if we can. Can we squeeze it in there? I think we can. Yeah, let's go like that. And so let's come over here. Let's upgrade this one. And of course, we're going to have to redraw it. Did not connect up. We're going to have to do a concrete path. That's going to be the only way this is going to work. And so then for this section, let's go ahead and could have it curve out. We could do like an interesting design. So normally whenever I'm designing something like this, I try to look for symmetry or patterns because it becomes very visually appealing if you can do that. Another great method is to do curves. And so like what we could do is curve these 2 corners in and it could probably actually look good. So if we curve this down and go like that. Okay, and there we go. And this is already looking pretty good. Once we unlock the gazebos, I'll probably end up coming back through here and cleaning this up. So now what I want to do is just jump into our landscaping tab, go into our content creator trees, and what I'm going to do is literally just grab these live oaks. I'm going to spatter them around, and we could actually do some small commercial in here too. That would actually be smart. So let's grab it, go in here before we forget. So let's go into commercial specialization. We want to do wall-to-wall commercial, and then for office specialization, I actually want to do IT clusters because it's going to help us get some really tall buildings in there. And so I think for this little corner down here, this would actually be a good spot for just a small bit of commercial. Not a lot, just a little bit to kind of help break up our park a little bit. And then we will end up doing some up here. Let's go ahead and let's actually do the whole row. We'll go like that. And then let's go ahead and do the whole row right here as well. And then we're going to do another park right there. And then I think for this section, let's go ahead and grab 4. Let's put a plaza in the middle. So we're going to grab this. Let's actually do the official park. Of course, it's going to be a little off. So we'll go like that. And then now let's go back in here. Go ahead and go like this. Let's actually leave a section undone. So we'll go like that. And then let's come in here and fill that in with paths. So we will go up here. And one of the tricks with these, if you ever have issues with paths, is you just got to make sure where the node goes. So like on this section, the reason I did this one first was because I knew if I went this way, if I connected this up, there was a chance that the node would be off center. So you always want to go from this angle first, just to ensure that you can get that in there properly. So we'll go ahead and connect this up now, connect that up, go like that. And this is already looking pretty good. I like this little official park over here. I think that is nice. And so now let's go back and get just a couple more little small commercial areas in here. Nothing crazy, but we just want to get some varying heights in here. We don't want it to all be the same. And then let's come into our IT clusters now. Let's go ahead and fill all that in as an IT cluster, and we'll kind of see what comes in there. And so now we can unpause, and then we need to figure out our our electrical issues. So now I'm going to follow this all the way down. Let's go ahead and pause real quick so that we don't ruin any of our newly built buildings. And our electricity is getting pretty low. Let's see if we can go into our budget panel. Let's go into economy, go into budget, and our electricity is already way up there. So we are going to have to build something. So let's come over to our electrical plant. And so we got 3 geothermals and our solar updraft tower. Let's maybe just do another geothermal in here. I think that would be smart. So if we place one right there, it's not going to be a huge amount, but it still kind of looks good. You know, it blends in with this area already. We don't have any trees in it or anything over here, so it does kind of look a little bland, but it's just because of industrial. You don't tend to put a ton of trees in those areas. And so now we should start seeing some stuff grow in. Oh, we got some stuff over here. Is this the small IT cluster is nice. And then are we getting any of our commercial yet? Oh, we got a couple. Nice. So these are coming in. These are really going to help us capture that kind of height difference in here, especially with like this IT buildings going up, because you do still want to get some small shops in there. Not a lot, but you want to get some in. Go back over here and I want to put in this plaza. So let's go into our parks and areas. Let's do this flower plaza. Maybe the statue plaza would be better. And of course, it's going to be a little off because of the squares. There's nothing we can do about that, even though that is kind of frustrating. Maybe we'll put it to one side, make it intentional. Yeah, we'll go like this. Actually, let's put it in our little, so we'll go like that. Perfect. And then let's grab our path and let's have the path go down the middle. And we're going to bring this across. Go like this. We're going to bring this across, go like that. Let's go ahead and connect this up as well, since we have another plaza over there. So we're going to bring this across, connect it up. Yeah, it's not bad. I definitely wish that this was perfect in there, but there's nothing we can really do about that. Let's see what else we have that we could put in here. So we could, I think we're just going to do our own little statues. So let's grab this. Is that the same statue? Yeah, it is. So let's come over here and we're going to do this little circle one. We're going to place that right there. We're going to place that like right there. Let's actually use the brown one. I think the brown one looks better. Let's go ahead and place that right there. And then let's go ahead and place this right here. And then what I'm going to do is do some pergolas around this, kind of clean it up. I'll probably have them slanted like this and then do some trees around real quick. All right, so I ended up doing some pergolas and then I did those little statues with some benches. I did benches underneath the pergolas. I did some of these purple trees with the young lindens. And then I did a couple little food trucks. I really like the food trucks. I like them a lot. I think they're fantastic. Over here, I did an ice cream stand with a couple little pergolas and some benches. I did some bushes all the way around. And I think that looks good. You know, it's not overdone, but it looks good. And we still do need to kind of decorate this area up as well. I want to do some trees and stuff, kind of clean it all up. And I think this is, you know, looking really good. It's kind of funny though, as I was detailing that, I forgot one thing, and maybe you guys have already recognized it, but we have not done any of our services. Even though that was something that I was like, we got to make sure to do services. I completely forgot. And so I do want to use the new ones. We're going to go into healthcare, and these are the ones that came with plazas and promenades. So I want to use this high capacity hospital, and it is a behemoth. So I think we're actually going to have to delete some stuff for this. So if we go ahead and place that right there, how does that look? Yeah, I like that. I think that is a good fit. And then what we can do is let's go ahead and do a pedestrian road around. I think that would be good. So we'll grab this, have it come up like right here, and then connect up right there. Does that have to go into a bridge piece? Yeah, we don't want that to go into a bridge piece if we don't have to. Yeah, it looks like we're just gonna have to go out a little bit further. That's okay though. So we'll go like that, and let's go ahead and just curve this. And it still affords us a nice opportunity to do some trees and stuff around it, just to, you know, grab like a young linden and then just go all the way around. Actually, maybe something a little bit bigger. Maybe we'll do these barrels. Simple detailing, but it really cleans it up. And so now I know that the high capacity fire station is also a pretty sizable building. Let's go ahead and we're going to delete some more buildings, but let's place that right there. Yeah, you know what? I think that's a good match. And then luckily, I mean, the police one's pretty small. I was actually really surprised at how small the police one was, because for the high capacity, I was just imagining it to be much bigger. So let's go ahead and place this right there. And yeah, it's definitely a smaller building, but this has 80, has the capacity to hold 80 criminals, and it has 40 police cars. It is just crazy. And since we don't really have any residential in this area just yet, we don't need to put any housing, though you would definitely have some high-rise condos. Like some of these are probably condos in real life. But as we expand out this side, we're going to do some residential and probably end up putting some stuff right here too. And so I do want to do, I'm thinking of park off this front side. So if we go into districts and areas and go to district painting tool, let's go ahead and grab our paint park area, because we don't have any city parks yet. And I feel like we're really missing out on stuff here. So if we go ahead and follow this all the way around, we'll go like this. So let's come over here. Let's put our main entrance. It looks like we're gonna have to go right here. We'll go right there. And then let's go ahead and do some side gates because I want to do a side gate over here. So we'll go like that. And let's come over here and do the same thing. Because we're on a curve, we're going to have a little bit of issues. Let's come over here, do the same thing. And then let's come over here and do the same thing. We really want this to level up. That's why I'm making sure to place all these down. Anybody who watches me a lot, you're like, why are you placing down entrances? You never do this. So let's go ahead and follow this down now. I think that's nice. A lot of times if you just follow the road, you know, it really goes a long ways to capture a specific look, especially if you're going for a specific look. And I think we definitely could do with some more commercial off of this little road. I don't want to generate too much traffic. We're going to end up having some major issues in here. Let's go ahead and adjust that real quick. So if we go into the info panes, we can go down to traffic routes. Let's go to adjust roads. And we want to make sure that this is a priority road. Yeah, we want that to be a priority road. We are having a little bit of an issue over here. It looks like they're all trying to come up over here. Let's look at this and make sure that we don't have a light right here, because I'm imagining we do. Yeah, so if we go like that, let's come down here, do the same thing. Let's come down here, do the same thing. We want this to be a priority road, and we don't want there to be a light right there either. Let's remove a light, remove a light, remove a light, remove a light. And this is incredibly unrealistic, but in the base game, the lights are just really not that great. And it's because you can't adjust the timings. In real life, you have to have just astronomically large timings in order to deal with traffic. And it's because of the whole strode kind of problem. It's one of the things I've learned from watching like City Nerd and stuff like that. Some of those other like city planner YouTubers out there. All right, so let's go back to our park. All right, so let's come in here. Let's start doing a couple of our little plazas. So I want to place this there and I want to place that there. And I want our path to continue straight. So we're going to grab this. We're going to have it go straight, and then let's come over here. Let's do a cafe. We'll do cafe right there, and then we need to do bathrooms kind of just scattered around. Bathrooms would be super important. Let's come over here, place a bathroom, place a bathroom. Let's come over here, place a bathroom, place a bathroom, place a bathroom. And then let's do just a couple info booths. We don't need to get crazy with these. Maybe we'll put one on either end now. Come over here. Just so that, I mean, if people are lost or they're looking for something specific, that would be where you would kind of go. And so now we have already pretty much maxed out our capabilities for what this park can do, but we can do some rides if we want. So we could come in here and do just a couple little coastal rides. I think that could be good. So maybe we'll do a little arcade. Let's put one right there. Let's come over here, put one right there. And then let's do a Ferris wheel, just a small one. We're not going to get crazy with it. So we'll put the Ferris wheel right there. And then let's do maybe the teacups now. Let's do the carousel. I think that could be good. That's one of the cool things with this is you can intermingle the different park assets. And so because it's like a boardwalk area, this would be fun to have. So let's come in here and do our paths around. So we'll grab this, have this connect up right there, have it come down. Let's go ahead and turn off snapping, have it go right there, come down here. And then I think what I'm going to do is just curve this in because I want to kind of turn that into a fun little space. So we'll go like that. And then let's go ahead and copy that on this side just so we can capture a little bit of symmetry in here. I do wish we could get a couple little seats in here. I think what we'll do is let's go ahead and do just a small fence around this. So we'll grab this, have this go around, go like this, and then come down. And then what we can do is grab a couple pergolas. And so now it's kind of like a little beer garden. I think that looks pretty interesting. All right, so I think that looks pretty good. We just need to come through and do some trees. And then once we upgrade our park, we'll be able to put down some gazebos and stuff and make it look a little bit better. Let's jump into these policies. Let's do advertising campaign. Let's do celebrate night tours as well now that we have the After Dark DLC. So we should hit, so we have 27 visitors out of 500. Once we hit that 500, it'll be much better. We are starting to have a little bit of a traffic issue over here. These people are all stopping even though they don't need to. Let's check that again just to make sure that they are able to go. So let's click that, unclick that. They're still stopping. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to fix that. Yeah, it's because of these two intersections. So what we'll do, let's go ahead and get rid of this one. And then it maybe should help out. Yeah, it does help out. Having those two intersections right next to each other was just too much. But now what we need to do is go into our transport tab. Let's go ahead and mess with our tram lines. We really haven't done our trams yet, which would be super important. So let's come over here. So we know we have the tram station over here. So we want to grab that. We want to come down here, and I want it to stop right there, but then I want it to stop in here too. So we're going to go ahead and stop it right there. Let's go ahead and stop it right there. Let's go ahead and stop it right there. And then we're going to loop this one back. So we're going to stop it right there, go right there. And then we are going to follow this all the way back now and then terminate. And let's go ahead and do one on the opposite side, but we want it to turn up. So we want this one to go like right here. We want it to go right there. We want it to stop in the middle, go right here, go right here. And then we want it to go down this way. We want it to come down this line now. And then we're going to follow this one back as well. Go like this and connect it up. And we could do that one going the opposite direction as well. I don't know if it's entirely necessary, but it is something that we could maybe expand upon over here. Let's make sure that these people have good access. We really haven't messed with this too much. So let's come over here because you would really want to make sure that people actually are walking over here. We want this to be connected. All right, so we got those connected up, and I think we're gonna end up decorating this up a little bit, probably putting a plaza in here. We are definitely having some pretty major traffic issues. I don't know where these people are, what they're waiting for, maybe taxis. But these lines should help with getting people out of the cars because we're going to definitely have some pretty bad traffic problems. Let's go ahead and jump into our transport tab and kind of troubleshoot this real quick. So if we jump into trams, let's go ahead and list them. So these ones are the ones we just made. Let's go ahead and do white for both of those. And then 7. I guess yeah, so white's good. And then let's check those out. So we got these people coming. We got 228. That's crazy. Let's go ahead and jump this up to 12. Ooh, and we got new trams too. Oh man, I haven't even messed with these yet. So tram capacity 140. Man, these are great. So let's go ahead and try these ones. And then let's try these ones as well, the same ones. Because look at this, this is already getting just so crazy. Oh yeah, all these people are coming over here. But we're having some major traffic issues on our freeway. All these people are trying to go to our new area, and it's because of the heavy concentration of buildings. And so let's make sure that we have this connected up. We don't. So let's come over here. We want to connect up our metro line first. Let's grab this. Go ahead and go like that, go like this, and that should help out tremendously. And then let's look at our train station. So we got this hooked up. We don't. So let's come over here, go like this, connect that up, and then let's go ahead and connect up our roads over here, because having this mass transit is going to be the key to getting all these people out of here, because this is going to be pretty difficult otherwise. All right, and so we got that hooked up, and so now we should be able to, let's make sure that that's in our pedestrian road too. Pedestrian area, yep, and so it does say police coverage as well, so crime rate is high. This should start allowing trains to get over here, which will help with our traffic. This is all people coming in from out of the city, and so the more transit options we have, the better. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and jump into a detailing time lapse. We're going to let this play out for a little bit. I'm guessing now that we have all these up, we definitely should have connected those up first. Our traffic is going to really subside quite a bit. We have trams, we have metro, and we have train. The only thing we're really missing is bus, so it could be good for us to maybe put in a bus terminal over here as well. I may do that in the time lapse, but I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll catch you guys on the other side. Okay, so this is it. And so I went ahead and put trees pretty much around everything. And what I was going for here was definitely more of a green space downtown. And I think it looks really good. I actually really like it. So we got park right here, huge park down the middle, ton of green space around a lot of buildings. I did add in some more commercial into some of these slots, like right in here, just because I wanted to have that kind of height difference in there. And I felt like it just made it look a little bit better rather than another park. I did parks all the way over here. I did a really cool like green area back here with a little stall and some benches. And then I pretty much cleaned up our whole waterfront area with some trees. And then I did little rocks with palm trees, rocks on the water, just to kind of make it look a little bit better. I felt like it looked a little more natural. I was tempted to just do palm trees all the way down here, but I really wanted to kind of fill in the space. I really don't like the empty spaces in here. Like even this right here, I may come back and kind of rearrange this. And so couple key takeaways. Is the new DLC worth it in my opinion? Yes, I think it is fantastic, especially for only like five or six US dollars. I think it is worth it. One thing to keep in mind, if you're going to do a big downtown like this, each one of these is a unique building, which means it generates a ton of traffic. If I were playing with mods, I definitely would turn some of these into dummy buildings. But also if I was playing with mods, I wouldn't have the traffic issues that that we're now dealing with. In the vanilla game, traffic is much worse than in the modded game. And it's not even really just about Traffic Manager either. It's about disabling dummy vehicles. It's about optimizing your vehicles. It's about optimizing the routes that people take. But then also within Traffic Manager, you can limit people. So I did have to add in this little slip lane over here. We had a ton of people getting off here and taking our surface street all the way over here, which we still do. You can kind of see a ton of traffic. But then over here, I ended up having to get rid of this road. And then I optimized this as well, did 2 lanes all the way across. Because one of the biggest problems is the vanilla simulation is just not that great. You see all these people, they're trying to be in this right lane. That would just not be the logical thing in real life. In real life, they would be in this left lane. These people would be, they wouldn't be zippering right here when there's a whole free lane right here. But instead in the vanilla game, all of them want to be in that right lane. And you can see even some of them are still going in that left lane, but for some reason they want to zipper right here. And so we keep having a pretty big backup over here, pretty big backup over here. It is pretty well optimized at this point, but our traffic is much lower than it was. We're at 81% right now. 82 it gets up to sometimes, but it would just bounce up to 82. But then you can kind of see in here too, we just got some traffic issues. And so I was kind of hoping with all of our mass transit that it was going to mitigate it, and it probably did to a certain extent. Like we do have a ton of people walking around, and these stops are pretty busy. Like look in here, yeah, we got a ton of people in there. And so that's definitely something you want to watch out for. If you're going to do a downtown with the Skyscrapers DLC, either do less buildings, like don't go all out like this, or be prepared for traffic and maybe make it centralized in your city, because this is kind of off to one side. So like if we had done the downtown right here, we would have probably been able to split up traffic a little bit better, because this is kind of creating a bottleneck. Like we really only have a couple avenues to get in here. But I'm really excited about this. So I really want to do like a park around this kind of ruins over here. I want to do something special here. And then I think we're going to do a campus off of this side. And I think it's going to be really fun. I really enjoy campuses. I think doing a hill build is going to be fun as well. And then I think for this side, we're going to do some more high-rise condos and stuff right off the water. I think it'd be a really nice area to get some residential in there. We'll probably still get some tall buildings, but I don't think we're going to be focusing on skyscraper type tall buildings. We do need to get a harbor in here as well, like having this park on the waterfront. Definitely inhibited our harbor access. We would really want to get some sort of cargo harbor in here. Downtowns tend to be like the center of commerce for your city, and so you want to have as much accessibility as possible, like cargo train if you can get it. I tried playing around with the thought of cargo train for a while, and I just think it would be too hard to get it over here, so I think cargo ship is going to be our best bet. But key takeaways, just make sure you focus on that layout. You want to get all your services in there. By leaving these empty spaces in here, it definitely has helped with traffic quite a bit. If I would have just filled it all in, it would have been 10 times worse. But overall, I think it looks really good. I'm very happy with this design. You can even see we got a couple of the IT clusters in there as well. We got some wall-to-wall. We're really intermingling a lot of DLCs in this. I think also we may play around with the Modern City Center as well, which is definitely a competitor with the plazas and promenades, because it is also a wall-to-wall commercial. But it's more of like a single facade wall-to-wall, like something you would see in New York or something like that. Go ahead and let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you guys have any ideas for the campus or this area, go ahead and let me know. I'm super excited to receive people's suggestions. And if you enjoyed this episode, you will definitely enjoy the episode on your screen. And thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.